Okay, we just had breakfast and we're heading to the museum now, like the Asian Civilization Museum. Let's do that. We are done with the tour now. That was so interesting. I thought it was very fascinating how hundreds of years ago, long before the concept of globalization even existed, there was already so much intercultural trade. I would definitely recommend this to anybody who is interested in history. Oh, it's choosing. It's choosing.
I see them rolling.
Oh, aktiv nu.
Squeezing.
He's making O soft. Like car.
Pushing up.
We got a straw. Insulted. Taste. By the way, we are now in the Gardens of the Bay, which is this really famous attraction here in Singapore. I haven't really figured out what it is. I think it's just like beautiful gardens, and there's this hotel building which is huge, and you can go all the way up to the deck, and then we'll have this beautiful view of the skyline. We plan to do this, but there's a lot of tourists there right now, so we thought we'd just first have a look around here. It's very sweaty. There's also 2 flower gardens within this flower garden, which are inside. So I think we're gonna check these out next. Okay, so we just came back from the Sky Bar, and now we're going to get something to eat. Yum! This seems to be a great place to eat all sorts of food. I have some kimchi ramen, and Toby is eating some Turkish food. Okay, we have had dinner and we're now on our way to Chinatown to check out the area a little bit. And after that, we're gonna go to a bar that was recommended by a friend. And then I think we'll call it a day. discovered that it's raining, so we went back to the room and got our umbrellas. Our plan today is to spend a lot of the portion outside, so let's hope that the rain stops soon. But we might have to come up with other things to do, right? We're flying through a building now. Alright, we made it. We're in Sentosa now and it is raining still. So we decided to come to the beach. I think it's man-made though, because it seems a little bit too perfect. Very clean. The weather is not ideal for swimming. It's still raining a little bit, but it's nice enough to walk around. And the good thing about bad weather is that there's no people around, so that's great. Okay, the rain is coming back. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the mainland, because we're now on this island called Sentosa. And it's a fun island. It has like a lot of activities you can do here, but most of these activities are outdoor activities except for maybe like 2 museums, and we're not really in the mood to visit Madame Tussauds, so I think we're gonna go back to the mainland. And we were thinking actually going to Singapore National Museum, because that's quite interesting, since Singapore has a really interesting history and especially cultural background. And I really like the museum we were yesterday in, so I'm kind of excited to learn more. And then we were also thinking to maybe go mini golfing, because that's a great rainy day activity. And they have a really fun mini golf course, like a mystery mini golf course near our hotel we saw, so we might want to check that out. I was also thinking we could go for a movie. There's tons of things you can do even if the weather is bad, so I'm sure we'll have plenty to do. Okay, we're now at the National Museum of Singapore. We quickly went back to the hotel because we had to get our clothes changed because they got soaking wet. And I guess we're going in. Alright, that was the museum. I thought it was very interesting, especially because the exhibition was basically about Singapore's history, which personally I was very interested in because I think Singapore is such a developed city, and I was just curious to know how it became to be at the state where it is now.
It was a lot of information.
Yeah.
Quite densely packed, but very interesting.
now back in our hotel. Mini golf was really fun, even though I feel like they didn't really have a mystery to solve. It was just like a storyline. Yeah, Toby won. How did you like Singapore?
I really enjoyed it. It was intense, kind of like weekend, even though it wasn't weekend, but it felt like a weekend trip. We had a lot going on, and it went by super quick.
Yeah, but we did a lot. Singapore is not that big, so I felt like I wasn't that overwhelmed with activities we could do, because there were only, like, there is only so much, it seems like. Like, there's the obvious one, and I feel like we did that. I really, really enjoy Singapore because it's very wealthy and it has a lot of cultural diversity, and I like how it celebrates that diversity. We really like Singapore. How would you rate it with all the places we have visited? We have been to Hong Kong, to Chiang Mai, Krabi, and Singapore. So we've been in Thailand before, but I didn't vlog that because I wanted a break. So what would you say, like, out of all the places we've seen, how would you like rate Singapore in there?
I think I enjoyed Chiang Mai the most.
Mm.
It was just so much you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And the people were just so friendly and so welcoming.
Yeah.
I really liked that. You could go wherever you wanted and they just welcomed you.
I feel really bad saying this, but I feel like in this trip I liked Singapore better than Hong Kong. But I think it's because in Hong Kong, I mean, that was my 4th time or 5th time staying in Hong Kong, and it's just like at this point I really know my way around. And for Singapore, this was like my first time staying here, so it was really interesting. But I'm not sure how it would feel like to live here. I would love to experience that, because I think living in Singapore has a very interesting twist, meaning because it is very well organized. Yeah, in summary, Singapore, very modern, really cool city. It's quite small, but it is definitely a city. And coming from a country that barely has any cities.
I wouldn't call it small. We only saw like one corner of it.
I don't know if they have that word in English, but Singapore is a metropole. Zurich isn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anyways, I like metropoles, and this is cool. We're flying back tomorrow morning, and then we will be back in Switzerland after. I will be back.
4 months.
Yeah, I'll be back in Switzerland after 4.5 months. Do you think our plants are still alive? Bye.